Welcome back. I would like to remind everyone before we get started that I take tutorial requests, so if you have anything you need help with, just comment below and let me know, and I'll see if I can do a video on it. So, in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to use your Nividia GPU to encode your stream and your recording, allowing people with inadequate CPUs, like myself, to stream and or record. So what you're going to want to do is open OBS Studios. So I have that opened already since I use it to record and stream. And then you want to open up settings. So go to settings, and this should pop up. You might have white, might have black. It depends. I'm pretty sure it defaults to white if you just download it. I'll leave a link in the description to this download OBS. It's free. So inside the general settings, there is one setting that I have always checked and off checked. That's the only one I have to worry about, and it's automatically record when streaming. Now, this is if you want to stream and then record that stream so you can like chop it up and make it a YouTube video or something. Make sure to check that, so whenever you hit stream, it'll automatically do record. So I don't have that checked because I don't want to record my streams. But if you'd like to record your streams, make sure that's checked. Now, so stream, that's just, you should be able to do that. That's your stream key and where you're streaming. Now, output is where everything gets a little technical here. So output mode, that should be, if you've just downloaded this, that should be default to simple. So you're gonna hit that, drop down and put advanced on, and then so you're gonna have two of these tabs. All right, so streaming, recording are the two that you really mainly want to focus on here. Audio and replay buffer are two different, is another video, I guess. I could do a video on audio on how to split up your audio. So like, say if you're talking on Discord, you could mute Discord on stream and not mute anything else. And then you could mute your game but still have Discord sound coming through and your sound. It's pretty cool. I might do a video on that. Well, anyways, so I'd like to remind everyone that this only works with Nividia GPUs. I have a website here that has all the GPUs that support it, and it only displays the newer ones, so from the GT 1030 down to the 2080 Ti here. Now, if you want to see, if you have an older graphics card than this, like I have a 980, so you come down here, scroll down, you hit that, and then find your GPU in this list. You don't see your GPU in here, best bet is probably it doesn't support this, but, so you come over here, I have a 980, so I see that, and then I come here, total of NVENCs, so it's 2, max of current sessions, so that's 2. So I can support 2 sessions of encoding at the same time. So I will leave a link in the description to this website as well if you'd like to check and make sure your graphics card is compatible with this. So you come into settings, and this encoder should be an X260 64 something like that. That's making your CPU do the encoding. And if you have a shit CPU, it won't be able to handle the encoding. So what you're going to do is drop down, and if your GPU supports this, OBS should be able to automatically detect this. And there should be an NVENC H.264 setting. Set that. Alright, and then make sure Enforce Streaming Service encoder settings is enabled. Rescale output, we'll do that somewhere else. We'll do that in video here in a minute. So make sure that's unchecked. Now, rate controller, you want a CBR is best. Bitrate, now the NVENC encoder, it requires a lot of bitrate. So I've used it on like 4,000. It was fine for me on 4,000 bitrate. So I mean, your mileage may vary here. I usually just do 5,000 here. That's dependent on your upload speed as well. And I can't really remember what my upload speed, but I know it's way faster than 5 megabytes. So just make sure you have a good amount of upload speed. Now, keyframe intervals, seconds, 0 is auto. Just keep that on auto. The preset, default, profile, main, level, auto, uncheck that, 0, 2. GPU should be 0, B frame should be 2. So that is it for this streaming thing. Now that should make it so your GPU is doing most of the lifting, and I mean your GPU is strong enough to do this, and if it supports this, it should be fine. Your PC will barely see a hit. And then in recording, it's basically the same stuff. Make sure this is on advanced. It should be on advanced because it carries over. Type standard. Recording path, just make that to where you want your recording going. General file name without spacing. You can play around with that, see what you get. I usually have that unchecked. Recording format, MP4. That's just basically default. I always have it. It doesn't have it set to that as default, so you have to change that, but MP4 is where I would set it. Audio tracks, that's what audio tracks you want it recording. Encoder, now change this to the same one from here. You can, I think there's a setting here that says same as streaming. I would set it to that, or just change it to this one. It doesn't really matter. So NVENC.264. So rescale output, we'll do that somewhere else. And then keep that blank, that custom muxer settings. So in rate controller, you want it to be CQP. And then I usually set CQP to around 23. You can play with that higher or lower, see what you get performance-wise and all that. So keyframe intervals, keep that 0. Same in here. Preset, default, profile main, level auto. Pretty much the same as streaming. And then and then this on check, so use 2-pass encoding. Keep that unchecked. GPU 0, B frames 2. So that should be the same on streaming as it is here. Alright, so run down, get these settings all ironed out. You should be able to do that. And then audio, I just told you I'll do another video on this. It's pretty in-depth. And then in the video settings here, so what you want to do is in here is base canvas resolution. So whatever your monitor sizes, so I have a 1920 by 1080 monitor, and then whatever you want the outscaled resolution, so whatever you want you to stream at, so whatever people view your stream at. So I have that downscaled to 720p here because it's just a lot easier to upload that than a 1920 by 1080. And downscaling filter, I usually keep that on bilinear. And then FPS, since I'm only streaming at 720, I try to keep the FPS at 60. So I have the common FPS value setting, and then I have it at 60. So that just makes sure that I stream at 720p at 60. So that downscales it from my 1080p, 720p at 60 FPS. Now, if you're having lag issues to where your computer can't handle these are the settings that I would first come in and change. Is these, like, if you're trying to do a 1080 stream, maybe change it to 720 at 60 FPS or 720 at 30. I always favor the 60 FPS over the resolution, so that's just me. All right, so that is about it. That should help you with your streaming and everything. That should offload the encoding from your CPU to your GPU, and your GPU has a lot better time encoding because it has chips for that. Now, if you have a good CPU and it can encode just fine, leave it to your CPU. Leave it on the default setting of the encoding. But if you have a shit CPU like me, then changing it to the GPU encoding the video, streaming or recording, or doing both at the same time is way better on performance than anything else that I can figure it out here. So appreciate you guys. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.